And we are back for another casual conversation with the classic, as I'm here with none other than Lyra Valkyria. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing great. There's tons to talk about. WWE's coming to Canada September 6th in Edmonton for SmackDown, September 9th for Monday Night Raw in Calgary, and then recently announced to my hometown, Vancouver, for Survivor Series. So are you looking forward to coming to Canada? Have you wrestled there a ton before you got to WWE?
No, I had never been to Canada before. We went to Ottawa and Toronto for Money in the Bank. That was my first time in Canada, obviously for a massive premium live event. So it was really cool to be there.
No, it's definitely. We'll talk about Money in the Bank in a second. I just quickly want to touch on the fact that the last time we spoke was at WrestleMania before Stand and Deliver. I was there at the press junket. We spoke briefly, and at that point, you were still at NXT. So now you're at on the main roster. You're on Monday Night Raw every week. How has that change been for you?
Well, last time we spoke, Stand and Deliver, that would have been my biggest crowd that I'd ever wrestled to date. And then to have been drafted, suddenly wrestling in front of that amount of people was the norm. So
yeah,
it was, everything has happened so quickly and so fast. So it's been such a drastic change, and it's been in a really crazy 4 months.
That has, for sure. I mean, there's been so many things you've already done. I want to touch on a couple of them. But another thing I really want to quickly touch on before we move on is for those that might not have been watching NXT all the time, I think one of the coolest things about you is your entrance. Can you tell us kind of how you came up with the idea and the whole story behind your entrance?
From my time on the independent scene, I always kind of had that pose, and it's just really cool to get to translate it to WWE. Obviously, the big the smoke and everything is really cool, and it's always really fun when I rise up. Obviously, I'm not facing the crowd, and that second where I turn around and suddenly see all the thousands of people, it's always really cool for me.
No, 100%. Another thing I really, really want to ask you about, it was King and Queen of the Ring. You faced Nia Jax in the finals of the tournament, and you took her finisher, and it looked like she squashed you. How did that feel? And how was that experience?
Oh, that was insane. I got a lot of messages from everyone asking me if I was dead. So that was good.
Was it your first time wrestling overseas over there as well for that show?
Yeah, I'd never been to Saudi Arabia, and it was, my first month on the main roster. So just, I was really glad that everything happened so quickly. There was no time to sit down and process and think about everything. I just had to run with it. So it was wild.
Talk about a big crowd. First we talk about the arenas, but now you're in Saudi Arabia in a stadium like that. That must have been something for sure. Hey, yo, have you guys heard about 500 Level? They make officially licensed WWE merchandise, and I actually have been working with them on a couple of designs. A design that I worked on recently was with a girl named Caitlin, who's a big Dakota Kai fan, and we designed this new Dakota Kai shirt, which you can get exclusively now at 500 Level. Once again, officially licensed with the WWE. Really wanted a new Dakota Kai shirt. Got this one designed and made, and it's on the website now, on sale now, 500level.com. Guys, join their partnership program. You get discounts the more shirts you buy, 10%, 20%, 30%. You earn points and you get a discount. They have OG shirts, guys. I had to re-up on my NWO shirts on 500 Level, the comfortable material if you get the premium shirts, but even the non-premium is super comfortable. I got NWO shirts. I got Shawn Michaels shirts. You can find some of your favorite wrestlers on there. You can find none other than guys like Razor Ramon, the bad guy. Check out this shirt. It's a sweet, sweet shirt, everybody. 500level.com. Like I said, they have the NWO stuff. And if you're like a big NXT fan, they got shirts for all of your favorite NXT wrestlers. And if they don't, let me know, and I'll make sure we get some shirts made for your favorite NXT wrestler. I went to go support my girl, Carmen Petrovic. You guys can check out our casual conversation on my YouTube channel. You can check out mine and Carmen Petrovic's casual conversation. But 500 Level had a Carmen Petrovic shirt. I had to go support my fellow Canadian and the homie Carmen Petrovic. Petrovic, guys. 500level.com, guys. Check them out. Get premium, officially licensed WWE shirts that you cannot find on WWE shop all the time. They have a huge selection on their website also for MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL. They got shirts for everything, but their wrestling selection is insane. Custom creative designs. Maybe I can work together with someone out there that is an editor that wants to put more designs on the website. Hit me up. 500level.com. Check them out and keep doing the thing. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but you want to talk about Toronto, Ontario. You were there for Money in the Bank. It was your first Money in the Bank ladder match. How was your experience with that? And is it something you want to do again?
Oh, absolutely. Like, it was my 10-year wrestling anniversary that week, and I started wrestling the day of Money in the Bank 2014. Oh, wow. So to get to mark 10 years doing this with being on that show myself was crazy, like dream come true.
That's awesome. I want to talk about what's going on right now. There's obviously a lot going on Monday Night Raw. There's factions everywhere. We got Sonya, Shayna, and Zoe. We got Damage Control running control. And you've tied yourself with Kayden and Katana. How did that come about? And have you partied with them yet?
Yeah, we partied. The resident party girls, you know.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun. I get to loosen up when I'm with them. They're just really great. And I hope we get to keep doing it.
100%. With coming to the main roster, obviously you have a history with Becky Lynch on NXT. You defeated her for the NXT Women's Championship. She was there active on the roster when you were drafted and came up there. Was there any specific advice that she gave you, comparing NXT to the main roster?
Not from going from NXT to the main roster, but Becky's biggest thing is always like embracing who you are and being confident in what you bring to the table. And her telling me to be confident in what I bring to the table and feeling like she sees what I bring to the table, that obviously inspires me and motivates me a lot.
No, 100%. Is there anywhere you haven't wrestled that you're looking forward to wrestle to in, or like places?
Anywhere. Not place-wise. Like every week is new to me. So,
yeah.
To go from state to state, to go out to Canada, like everywhere I travel is completely new. So it's a whole new world every week for me.
When you go to new towns, do you try to take the opportunity to go out there and check out things, or is the schedule just way too busy for you to do that sometimes?
Yeah, I always get time to wander around. I always try to find like a nice coffee place to get try the coffee if it's like a little indie spot, or it's always cool to get to wander.
That's true. So you're a big coffee drinker.
Yeah.
So when you come to Vancouver, let me know. I'll tell you places that aren't the main franchises. Maybe you can go to a cool coffee spot. I mean, obviously in Canada, Tim Hortons is very popular, but there's a lot of cool, in the way you termed it, indie spots you could probably go to and get a good cup of coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic here, guys. I want to let you guys know that there's a limited edition Wrestling Classic tee. I'm wearing it right now, but I got to show you the back because it's in collaboration with none other than HQ Clothing, guys. It says Conquered in the back because that's what we do out here, conquering it every day, guys. Wear this shirt, remember to conquer it. Do the thing, keep doing the thing. HQ Clothing, Headquarters Clothing, limited edition Wrestling Classic shirts. There's only like 70 left. There's only 100 printed. Make sure you get them before they're gone. I truly, truly, truly appreciate your support. Conquer it. Get it now. Put the link in the description below. What are your future goals right now? Like, what are things that you would like to achieve, say, in the next 5 months?
Well, we've got the women's speed tournament coming up, so obviously I'd love to go all the way in that and to be the first women's speed champion. That would be really cool. To get some gold on the main roster has got to be it, right? To main event Raw, to win a title, it's all hopefully ahead of me.
Have you been able, I know like WWE goes on a ton of tours and a lot of people are overseas right now going to Germany and stuff. Have you been able to go back with WWE and wrestle in Ireland yet?
So before, when I was in NXT, I actually got to wrestle in the 3 Arena with the main roster on WWE Live, and that was so incredible. To be able to go back as part of Monday Night Raw and do the 3 Arena in Dublin, that would be amazing.
And the way that the landscape of WWE is today, they've had pay-per-views in France and then and Australia and the UK and Canada, even though it's weird for me to think of Canada as not America, like a wave, but like it's still kind of like it's outside of America, so it's a bigger deal. How cool would it be to have a PLE in Ireland? And is there a specific place you think it would work?
Yes, back in 2020, we had Takeover Dublin announced.
Yeah.
And it just
the pandemic happened. I remember it was supposed to be Finn and Gunther. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like to think it was right there and it got taken away from us. So I'm fully confident, and I really hope that we can get a big PLE brought to Ireland. It would be amazing.
Well, give us a little bit of sell it to me a little bit. Like, how are the fans in Ireland? Obviously, you wrestled in the independent scene there for the first part of your career. Like, what is the wrestling fan base like in Ireland? Is there a fan base? Is it a strong fan base? What's the scene like over there?
There is an amazing wrestling scene in Ireland. We've got a few wrestling promotions around there, OTT, Fight Factory Pro Wrestling. And if you just look at the talent that's been produced by Ireland, you got Becky, JD McDonough, Seamus, like myself included. Like that's the level of talent that comes from there, and that passion that we all have for what we do. You can feel that when you're wrestling in front of an Irish crowd. Like it just hits different, you know. We really, really want it, and we would absolutely love a PLE in Ireland.
Is it take me back for a second? So it's 2014. You're starting to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
If you look 10 years before that, like there was obviously a handful of European wrestlers always in the WWE at all times, whether it was back in the day with the likes of Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid, or if you fast forward, you had, a handful of European wrestlers during the Ruthless Aggression era and whatnot. But right now there's so many. And obviously there was a period where there was NXT UK and there's all this stuff. Was it more a combination of like, oh, there's a ton of European wrestlers in the WWE now, as also there's a women's revolution that you saw a bigger opportunity there when you started?
Yeah, I think WWE is so international now. Like anyone European or anything, you're not going as the Irish person, or it's everywhere. It's everywhere. There's like, women and men are equal. It doesn't matter where you're from. Like you're on the international global stage. So it's really cool.
Last but not least, I always like to ask this question to kind of wrap things up. So I'll ask you yourself. You've been doing this now for 10 years, like you said, and I'm sure I already know the answer, but I'm just curious. Would you say you've made your younger self proud?
Oh, definitely.
What would you, if you go back and give advice to your younger self breaking into this business, what is one thing you think you'd go back and tell them now?
Just like to reaffirm with myself that I'm doing all the right things, because obviously it was really hard at some points, like working a job, going to college, and gym, training, all the stuff all packed into one. Just to tell myself I was doing everything right.
No, 100%. I'm really curious. I'm gonna wrap this up now that you brought that up, though. What were you doing as you were training to wrestle? Like, what was that other job?
I worked in CEX for 4 years.
What is that?
It's a secondhand tech and gaming and movies and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Not bad. That's interesting. Well, I thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you making the time. I appreciate you supporting the page and everything as well. And hopefully we can chat again down the road again soon.
Yeah, hopefully. It's been a really nice chat. Thank you.
It's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.